We live in a world that's just obsessed with shouting about success, right? But today, we're going to unpack a powerful secret. It's something that goes against pretty much everything you see online. A really counterintuitive idea about what it truly takes to win.
Yeah, you heard that right. Silently. Not with a big parade or some viral post, but quietly. And that is the core secret we're going to dive into. This isn't the kind of advice you'll find in your typical business book, but I promise you, it might just change how you approach, well, every single goal you have.
Okay, so here's the game plan for today. We're going to start with the allure of being loud, then dig into the power of silence. After that, I'll give you a practical playbook, we'll look at the science of why this works, and then wrap it all up with your winning move.
All right, first up, the allure of loudness. So why is everyone so noisy about their success these days? I mean, we're constantly being pushed to share, to post, to show off. But what if that need for applause is actually a trap?
Let me paint a picture for you that just illustrates this perfectly. Imagine you're at a business conference in Singapore, okay? The room is just filled with people in these modest, simple suits. The vibe is, it's all about the work, making real connections. It's professional, it's understated. And then this guy walks in, and you literally cannot miss him. He's got this massive gold chain on. I'm talking, you'd think it was a prop from a pirate movie. Flashy shoes, sunglasses on indoors, you get the picture. And while all the real players in the room are just quietly focused, this guy starts broadcasting to anyone who listen that he just closed a $10 million deal. He's name-dropping billionaires. He's basically a walking Instagram filter.
And here's the best part, the punchline. Literally 10 minutes after bragging about his millions, this same guy leans over and asks someone if they could buy him a coffee because he'd forgotten his wallet. It was all an act. The whole thing was just a performance. All noise, zero substance.
So this whole story really brings up a crucial question for all of us. Think about it. When something good happens in your life, you get a new job, you start a new project, what's your very first instinct? Is it to actually savor that moment for yourself? Or is it to grab your phone and immediately shout to the world, "Hey, look at me, I'm winning"? Be honest.
Okay, so if being loud is the trap, then what's the alternative? Well, it's all about harnessing the power of silence. Because true champions, they move differently. They operate on a completely different frequency.
And look, this is not some new age idea. This is ancient wisdom we're talking about. In Africa, there's a saying, the empty calabash makes the loudest sound. In China, it's the loudest duck gets shot first. And even in the modern business world, it's a known fact. The person talking the most is usually the one bluffing.
I mean, just think about the early days of Alibaba. Nobody believed in Jack Ma. His own family thought he was crazy. They were like, "Jack, you're an English teacher. What in the world do you know about the internet?" But you know what he did? He didn't argue with them. He didn't make some big, loud announcement about how he'd prove them wrong. He just put his head down and worked. He failed, he worked, he failed again, and he did it all in relative silence. And this right here, this perfectly illustrates what true victory actually feels like. When Alibaba finally took off, there wasn't some huge party. You know what Jack Ma did? He just went to sleep. He was exhausted. That is what real winning feels like. It's not some flashy Instagram post. It's the quiet, humble, peaceful satisfaction of just getting the work done.
You see, announcing your plans too early, it's incredibly dangerous. Think about it like this. You're the chicken, dancing and celebrating in front of a fox. To the chicken, it's a party, but to the fox, dinner is served. You're basically exposing what you should have been protecting all along.
All right, so we've covered the why. Now let's get into the how. How do you actually do this? I've got 3 practical steps for you to become a silent winner.
The playbook is pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Number 1, avoid celebrating too early. Number 2, stay under the radar. And number 3, build an unshakable confidence that doesn't need anyone else's approval.
So let's talk about that second one, staying under the radar. You want to operate in what I call stealth mode. Think about how a smart tech startup works before a major launch. They don't make a bunch of noise, they just quietly build. And why is that? It's simple. People can't attack, they can't criticize, and they can't ruin something they don't even know exists. And this brings us to the most crucial point of all. Your confidence has got to come from within. The reason people shout about their wins is because deep down, they're insecure. They're craving that external validation.
But when you truly know your own value, you just don't need the applause. You have to become your own biggest cheerleader, and you do it privately.
Okay, so this isn't just some feel-good philosophy. There is actual brain science to back this all up. Staying quiet isn't just a strategy. It's literally a way to hack your own brain for better results.
It's something called the dopamine trap. See, when you tell people about your goals, your brain releases dopamine. That's the same pleasure chemical you get when you actually achieve the thing. So just talking about going to the gym can feel almost as good as actually going, which then kills your motivation to do the real work. You've basically tricked your brain into feeling rewarded without putting in any of the effort.
So as you can see here, announcing your goal gives you this premature sense of accomplishment, and boom, your motivation just plummets. But when you work in silence, your brain stays hungry. It's still chasing that dopamine reward, which it knows it can only get by actually finishing the task. That hunger to succeed, it stays right where you need it.
A perfect analogy for this is the Chinese bamboo tree. For the first 5 years after you plant it, you see absolutely nothing above ground. Nothing. But what's really happening is it's building this massive, complex root system underground, and then, in its 6th year, it just explodes. It shoots up 80 feet in only 6 weeks. People look at that and they call it an overnight success. But we know the truth, right? It was years of silent, unseen work that made that incredible growth possible.
Okay, so let's pull all of this together. Let's talk about your winning move. This is all about adopting the mindset of a true champion, someone who values the results way more than the recognition. You need to move like a storm cloud, silent but powerful. Move like a tiger in the grass, completely unseen until it's time. Move like a seed, deep underground, quietly preparing to absolutely shock the world. That is the image of quiet power.
So stop comparing yourself to others, stop performing for an audience, turn all of that focus inward. Let your success be the natural result of a quiet, relentless focus on your own growth.
Because when you operate this way, quietly, humbly, and with that intense focus, I promise you, one day people are going to look at what you've built and they'll be stunned. They'll ask, where did you come from? What's your secret? And you'll know it wasn't a secret at all. You were just there the whole time, working, waiting, and winning, silently.